The second tactical mistake that was made by the Trotskyist opposition was on the question of allies. No movement can ever dispense with the question of allies. You have to define, when you define the character of your revolution, as to who your friends are and who your enemies are. It's a very, very important question. Those who ignore the question of allies are destined to never greet success. They are always destined to fail. The proletariat cannot do without allies. But these allies must be mass allies who do not prevent the proletariat from organizing itself independently, who do not prevent the Communist Party from organizing the proletariat and broad masses of peasants and rousing them to revolution, who would not in any way restrict the Communist Party's propaganda. Subject to these conditions, the proletariat must avail itself of every opportunity to gain for itself a mass ally, even if such a mass ally is a temporary, weak, vacillating, unstable, and unreliable ally. It's no point when these allies who are weak, temporary, and treacherous, when they desert you saying, "We told you so." That's the easiest thing to do. We told you so. Because you can tell that in advance. The bourgeoisie at some stage, even of an oppressed country, will betray the revolution. But while it does not betray, you need to have some sort of alliance. You need to have dealings with it in order to extend the scope of the revolutionary movement. And that's what the CPC were doing. And that is what the Communist International was impressing on them to do. So the question is, did the Chinese proletariat have such allies? The answer is yes, it did. In the first phase of the revolution, the Canton period, that is, there was an all-nation united front, which included the right wing of the KMT, Chiang Kai-shek and company as well, and the other classes that I've already mentioned, that the urban poor, the petty bourgeois intelligentsia, and the peasantry. During this period, the KMT was a mass organization and a revolutionary force. At that time, the Canton was the center of revolutionary struggle against imperialism. You may ask the question of what were the achievements of this period? Did the Chinese Communist Party gain anything from being part of this alliance? The answer is yes, many achievements. First of all, it led to the extension of the territory of the revolution. The revolutionary troops reached as far as Yangtze. Two, the Chinese proletariat got a chance of openly organizing itself. The CPC gained the possibility of openly organizing the proletariat in trade unions, strike committees. You have to remember that the CPC had been in existence by that time for only about 6 years. Three, the Chinese communists were able to form themselves from different groups into a mass party of 5,000 or 6,000 people. As Keith never tires of telling the Chinese Communist Party, we have more members than you had at the time you formed your party, although slightly fewer than what you have today. So the Chinese, by being part of the KMT, by working there, were able to organize workers and trade unions and were able to form themselves into a mass party of 5,000 or 6,000. Look, the Communist International and Stalin are saying it's a mass party of 5,000 or 6,000 people in a population of 400 to 450. So it's not really just the number of people that are in a party. Two things make a party a mass party, something that perhaps somebody could tell Comrade Scargill. One is not that every one of the masses is in the party, but the party is indissolubly connected with the masses. On the given days, it can deliver the masses for whatever is required. And secondly is the quality of the membership, what members are able to do, not the dead ones like you get in various parties like the CPB or the NCP or I shan't name any other names. And thirdly, fourthly, the Chinese proletariat was able to create the first nuclei of peasants' organizations, the Peasants' Association. 5, the CPC was able to penetrate into the army, no small thing. When you're working with the government, you're treated, at least by the army itself, as one of them, and therefore you're able to have some influence. For the CPC, which at the time was a relatively small force, these were enormous gains. As I said before, and I repeat, on 12th of April 1927, the national bourgeoisie deserted the revolution and established a counter-revolutionary center in Nanking. Wuhan then became the center of revolution, whereby the petty bourgeois intelligentsia sided with the revolution and set up this center in the city of Wuhan. In this period, the allies of the proletariat no longer were the bourgeoisie, but the peasantry, the urban poor, and the petty bourgeois intelligentsia. It would have been wrong during this period, when the left wing of the KMT had not yet disgraced itself, to have withdrawn from the Wuhan KMT. Wuhan at this time was the center of the revolution. And what were the gains of this period? And it lasted only a few months, by the way. The gains were, one, the Communist Party, from being an insignificant party of 5,000 to 6,000 members, became a party of 50,000 to 60,000. Within a matter of months, its membership increases tenfold. Two, the trade unions grew into a tremendous force and came to include 3 million members. Just in a period of 6-7 months, 3 million members. Peasants' organizations expanded to include several tens of millions in them. Four, the Communist Party gained the possibility of openly organizing the revolution. And finally, 5, the Communist Party and the proletariat began to change from just being an insignificant factor into the hegemon of the Chinese Revolution. It became the most important factor of the revolution, rallying around itself the masses of the Chinese people.